Hi guys. So, the EU fucked us up the ass. 491 votes for the bullshit weapons directive and 100 and something against, and about 50 of them stayed at home. So what to do now? Well, this wasn't a surprise. Everyone saw this coming. So now it's up to you in your respective EU countries to affect your politicians and well, basically write them daily until this bullshit gets as lenient as possible. Because this is only like the base rules, and the individual EU countries can make them as hard as they want. So let's talk about Sweden. Sweden has the government in Sweden has an expert group comprised of I think it's 3 people. It's Tuneman, who's the head of the förvaltningsrätt, or like a legal department in the police, handling weapons permits and stuff like that, and other things. And then there's Peter Torssell. He's the chief police handling weapons permits. And then there's Nils Henninger, I think his name is, from the Justice Department. And all of these 3 people have colluded and have known each other for years. They're from the same small police department in Sweden, and they come up the ladder together and are basically the reason we are here at the moment. For example, no political parties in Sweden are for this weapons directive. There's been 0 news in the papers, 0 letters to the editor or whatever. 0 people for this. And only like a couple of our MEPs have voted for it. Most of them didn't. So there's no opinion for this weapons directive except from these 3 people. But yeah, so the Riksdagen, or Parliament, voted against all this, and I think it was 90 different organizations answered a call to give their opinion about the weapons directive to the government, and only 3 of those thought it was a good idea, and among those 3 was the police, and Peter Torssell was the guy who wrote that piece. For example, our armed forces told us this. In their answer they said, this is all bullshit, we don't need this, it is a threat to the defense of our nation, we need this, we need a populace to be able to own semi-auto rifles and fully automatic rifles and everything. So no, they didn't listen to the armed forces in Sweden. They only listened to these 3 people. So what did they do? During this process, they sent down Peter Torssell and Nils Henninger and Tuneman, I think, well, some of them at least, down to Brussels to speak on our behalf. Why? Why would they send hoplophobes and people who have done so much harm down there? Well, you tell me. I would blame some kind of conspiracy on this if it wasn't so much easier to just blame incompetence and activist government officials. Because I have spoken to at least Peter Torssell on the phone several times, and when you call him up, you get about half an hour lecture before you even get to say hello. You get half an hour lecture on why all guns are bad. He's against scopes with more than 10 power magnification, because those are for snipers, and snipers want to shoot people at range. He's against plastic stocks, because there's no need, there should only be wooden stocks. He's against basically everything. He wants to ban everything, and he's of the opinion that all legal gun owners are potential mass murderers. So no one should be able to own any guns. And he's told me this. And if it wasn't illegal, I would put up the recordings of all the conversations I have had with this guy on the internet, but that would be breaking some law, so I will not do that. But I have recorded everything he's ever told me, and it's not fun. Anyway, so these three are the expert group. They're totally retarded when it comes to guns. And that's gonna handle how the weapons directive are implemented in Sweden. The last time Peter Tuchel got to handle something, we had I think it was in 2014. The moderates had like a investigation in how the gun laws could be changed. And it was the same thing as the first version of the weapons directive, basically ban everything. And we made such amount of noise, so nothing ever happened, fortunately. And this is what we have to do again. We have to make a lot of noise, and we cannot stop. We have 15 months, I believe, to get this sorted. So some kind of investigation on how we make the weapons directive into law in Sweden will take place, and we have to basically nag them to death. I'm not sure who's gonna handle this. If I'm gonna guess Peter Tuchel. And if he gets the job, there's no reason to contact him. He won't give a shit. But we do have to contact politicians. And we have to make sure the impact on gun ownership is good in Sweden. Not too hard. Also, every politician in the European Parliament says, well, this is a compromise. A compromise is when both parties lose. Now Peter Tuchel's won, and we're down at the bottom. We're gonna have to even balance this out. We have to talk to the politicians and lose the part of gun law that says synnerliga skäl, which basically bans handguns on paper. And we have to get rid of 5-year licenses for handguns, and we have to get something back, basically. Perhaps get the suppressors totally free in Sweden. Something like that, because free suppressors, that would be reasonable in any case, because that's just like seat belts in a car. So we'll see, but we should never give up, and we have to like go into overdrive now, because now the real fight starts. Okay, I hope you're with me, all my Swedish viewers and all the rest. Yeah, this is a fucked up situation, but here we are. Have a nice day.